forces in stellar galaxy, gravitational force, effects of gravity, Newton's universal law of gravitation, the effect of gravitational force, Earth's moon's system. In physics, a force is any interaction that when unstopped will change the motion of an object. A force can cause an object with mass to change its velocity, which includes to begin moving from a state of rest or of a uniform motion in a straight line unless it is compelled by an external force as per the Newton's first law to accelerate. Force can also be described intuitively as a push or a pull. You know that Newton's second law of gravitation, F is equal to ma, where force is in newtons, mass is in kg, and acceleration is meter per second square. The more acceleration. Newton's second law of motion can be formally stated as follows. The acceleration of an object as produced by a net force is directly proportional to the magnitude of the net force in the same direction as the net force and inversely proportional to the mass of the object. So F is equal to ma. 4 fundamental forces of physics. My dear friends, today let's have a discussion on 4 fundamental forces of physics: electromagnetism, weak interaction, strong interaction, gravitation. These 4 fundamental forces of nature, the nuclear forces have been classified into a weak interaction forces and the strong interaction forces, along with the electromagnetism and gravitational force. Gravitational force, electromagnetic force, nuclear force, strong nuclear force, weak nuclear force. All these forces are govern how objects or particles interact and how certain objects or particles decay. All the known forces of nature can be traced to these fundamental interactions of forces. The fundamental interactions are characterized on the basis of the following criteria: the types of particles that experience the force, the relative strength of the force, the range over which the force is effective, the nature of the particles that mediate the force. The above 4 fundamental forces in nature are further classified into 2 types. As you know that types of forces can be classified majorly into 2 parts. One is contact force, non-contact force. Contact force is nothing but touching, that is contact force, and non-contact force, without touching or without contact. Contact forces, friction, action that can cause between the 2 or more objects by touching or contact. Non-contact forces, friction or action that can cause between 2 or more objects by touching and by not touching or not contacting. So, the contact force is a force that is applied by objects in contact with each other. So let us discuss about the 4 important non-contact forces. Non-contact forces are further classified into 4 types. One is gravitational force, electrostatic forces, magnetic forces, and electromagnetic forces. Yes, my dear friends, let us have a brief discussion on the forces. Forces in the stellar galaxy, the Milky Way.